Hi, I'm Pip Waller. This is Being Human, and today I'm going to begin the first in a series about holistic self-care tips or suggestions to help with depression or low mood. So I'm just introducing it today, and then I'm going to do a series about each of the areas that I'm going to talk about. So I got inspired to do this because those of you that have followed me for a little while will know that I haven't made any new videos for a while. The reason for that is that I had a big personal loss in the spring, in March, and it hit me very hard, and I was deeply in a grieving process. And part of that was I was really quite depressed. And so that got me thinking about, and the depression lasted. So, I mean, grieving is very particular because it just, in my experience of it, takes quite a long time. But I think actually the things that helped when I was in that place, I think they apply to any time that you've got a low mood. But of course, it's very difficult to help yourself when you're depressed, because part of the thing is that you're sunk in this place where, well, you can't see that anything would ever help anyway. There's really a darkness on you, like a cloud on you. You can't see forward. So to actually do things that are positive, things that could change, is very difficult. So I know that some people have never been depressed, and I find that astonishing in some ways. I'm actually, I could envy it too. I think people like me that have been depressed would maybe could relate to that. But very many people have experienced at some point in their life a period of depression, and some people really have had way too much of it. And I'm going to say that there's never no reason for depression. There's never no reason. It can be that the reason's very, very, very lost in the past, or that actually we can't quite face the truth of what the reason is. It can be a mixture of all sorts of factors that come together to lower our mood. But there are a lot of things we can do to raise it, and that's what I'm going to be talking about. And so I was going to say, it's not easy to change. It's not easy for any of us to change any time, actually. We're kind of creatures of habit, human beings. But of course, when we're in this dark place where we can't see forward, then it can be even more difficult. So I'm going to, in my the usual way, I'm going to be offering an array of suggestions, and some of them work on a physical level. There are things you can do physically, materially, to change things in your body. Some of them work on a more mental level, looking at how the mind works and what you can do, some small practices you can do that can start to shift things in your mind, and also some energetic or spiritual suggestions that can really shift things. And I'm hoping that, because depression, again, it's hard to make a decision or make a change of it in any kind, that maybe with all these suggestions you'll be able to find one small thing of all of them that you could begin to do, and that will change things enough to allow you to then make more changes. And I just want to say something more about depression, which is the modern dominant culture, the dominant medicine of our modern culture really has become entrenched with this idea that depression is just some kind of biochemical malfunction in the brain. Of course, that idea has been very driven by the huge pharmaceutical companies, who make a lot of money if people think, oh, there's something wrong with my brain, I need to take an antidepressant. And I think this, coupled with the fact that many, many, many doctors really don't know that there are other things you can do, they're genuinely ignorant about you can get really, really good psychotherapy, can be so helpful. Unfortunately, it's not always that easy to find it. It's quite difficult sometimes to find any psychotherapy, even not very good stuff. But really, really good therapy is a bit thin on the ground, and it would be great if the medicine that we have, most of us have access to, started to be driven really by caring about people, rather than caring about the profits of some massive companies. But honestly, depression is not a simple matter of a biochemical imbalance in your brain, and if you take a pill, it'll all be okay. And really, I want to give you hope. If you are depressed, if you're in a dark place, a low place, there is a lot of stuff that you can do that's going to help you. There really, really is. Or perhaps you're caring or helping, somebody in your life that's depressed, and these suggestions may be things that you're going to be able to help them with. Anyway, it's going to be diet, simple changes in your diet you can make that can help. There's going to be stuff about exercise, because exercise really is one of the best things to lift your mood. There's going to be some supplements and herbal remedies that you can try. Then that's on the physical level. Then on the mental level, there's going to be ways to connect with yourself, because that connection with yourself is absolutely crucial as a way building a better relationship with yourself, and beginning to communicate more about your feelings and understand your feelings more and more with more finesse, more depth, and some other things that we could call mental level stuff. And then the energetic stuff, which is simply put, one aspect of that is that we talk about depression, we're under a cloud of depression. So literally, emotions are energy. Our emotions are a form of energy, and they can create like collections of that energy. So if we've been depressed a long time, or sometimes even if we just go somewhere where other people have been depressed a long time, there's an entity of depression, an energy conglomerate of depression, chunk, can get stuck in a place or on us, and that can really lower our mood. And there's things that we can do about that. One of the key ones is the Salt Surgical Spirit Energy Clear that I've talked about earlier. So while you're waiting for the rest of this series, you could get on with that. Anyway, I'm Pip Waller. This is Being Human, and this is the first in a series of depression videos, and I'm glad to be back. Thanks for listening.